If you're not already using these 5 powerful AI image generation features, you're working way harder than you need to. In this video, I'll show you how I use Nano Banana Pro to turn my rough notes and ideas into polished visuals. By the end, you'll have the complete guide in building a library of assets for your creative personal brand, from lead magnets that grows your email list to product mockup for your digital course, even stunning brand photo shoot without using a camera. So if you're creating content after a 9-to-5 job, this is the difference between staring at a blank canvas waiting for inspiration to hit and having a reliable system that just works. For this example, I uploaded a tiramisu recipe into Google Gemini and used Nano Banana Pro to turn it into a hand-drawn step-by-step illustration. I asked the model to analyze the recipe and break it into 6 simple steps, and then generate a single illustrated image based on that. To get the style right, I first asked ChatGPT to describe the style of a similar hand-drawn recipe image. That was the inspiration for this workflow. Then I used that style description as my prompt in Gemini. At first, Gemini misunderstood part of the prompt and generated a new one on its own. So I just copied that new prompt it gave me and tried again. Even using the Pro thinking model, it only took about 2 or 3 minutes to generate the image. And honestly, I was really impressed with the result. The steps were mostly accurate, but it did make a small mistake in step 1. It messed up the wording for beat egg yolk with sugar. The nice thing is, instead of regenerating the whole image, I could just ask it to fix that specific part. So I told it to correct step 1 and also label the small bowl in step 2 as beaten egg white, and it updated the image without changing everything else. That's a really important workflow tip. If you're happy with about 80% of the image, just tweak the part you didn't like instead of starting over. I also tried generating the image again using my original prompt from ChatGPT, but this time I made sure to clearly say to generate the image based on the attached recipe following this style guide. This version came out really well too. It used 7 steps instead of 6, but all the wording was correct and it was still very easy to follow visually using the arrows. The only issue was in step 1, it showed too much liquid in the bowl, which might make people think it's a whole egg instead of just egg yolk. So again, I asked it to tweak just that part, remove the liquid and show only egg yolks and sugar. And it fixed it pretty well. It's not perfect, but it's quite close. And the overall result is a clean illustrated recipe you could easily turn into a free download or lead magnet. So if you're creating content around cooking, home renovation, gardening, or anything really that's step by step, this is an incredibly powerful tool. You can turn instructions into illustrated infographics instead of just text. You could even visualize things like weather data or YouTube analytics as an image instead of a spreadsheet. Visual information is so much easier to understand and remember than just words and numbers. The second Nano Banana Pro feature is something that's incredibly useful for storytelling and visual content: character consistency. Nano Banana Pro lets you upload multiple reference images of the same person or character and keep their identity consistent across different scenes. That means you can place the same character into new situations without their face or features changing each time. This is especially powerful for things like storyboards, viral style thumbnails, or short visual stories. To test that, I uploaded 3 character reference photos and asked it to generate a 6-panel storyboard. I gave it a simple outline for each panel: working late, getting a text from a friend, opening the fridge, someone knocking at the door, and then eating takeaway while working. It actually generated 7 panels instead of 6, but that wasn't a big deal. The characters did get swapped around a little, so next time I'd be more specific, like saying character A from image 1 and so on. But overall, it kept the main character consistent across the whole story, which is really impressive. Since the other 2 characters only appear once, this mainly tests consistency for the main character. If you want me to make a sequel and see whether it can keep all 3 characters consistent, let me know in the comments below. This use case is especially powerful for creators because it gives you a new way to tell stories visually. Instead of writing a long block of text about your day or a lesson you learned, you can turn it into a short visual storyboard like this. It's quicker to consume, more engaging to look at, and much easier for people to remember. The third Nano Banana Pro feature is all about creating and maintaining a consistent brand look and feel. Instead of generating random images each time, Nano Banana Pro can apply the same style, lighting, and mood across multiple outputs. So everything looks like it belongs to the same brand. To show you what I mean, I uploaded front and back photos of this dress and asked the AI to generate 9 fashion shots. I didn't specify any brand style. So what happened was it generated some really nice images, but each one had a completely different vibe and styling. If you put them side by side, the lighting, the mood, and the overall look just doesn't feel cohesive. Some of these look more casual and everyday, while others look more grand and professional. That's fine if you want variety, but if you're generating images for a brand, you usually want everything to feel like it came from the same photo shoot. So for my second attempt, I used the same reference images, but this time I specified the brand style, the lighting, and the color palette in the prompt. The goal is that all 9 images look like they belong to the same collection. You can also click this arrow here to show how the model is reasoning through what to generate. I always find that really interesting to read. Okay, it's finished, and wow, look at this. It really captured the brand style, that old Hollywood look with rich jewel tones and velvet textures. This second image is beautiful too. The dark walnut background, the lighting, the mood. And this one here, with the close-up on the fabric, looks super cinematic. I love this emerald green shot as well. It's kept that same moody, elegant vibe throughout. The model isn't consistent across every image, but that's something you could easily control by adding it to the prompt. I didn't do that here. But overall, these 9 images feel cohesive, like they all came from one professional photo shoot. And this is something that would normally take days to produce in real life. You don't need a photographer, models, lighting, and a studio or a location like this. For a fashion brand, that would cost a huge amount of time and money. But here you can generate all of this just from 2 reference photos and a simple prompt, which you can even ask Gemini to help you write in the first place. The fourth Nano Banana Pro feature is the ability to take multiple completely unconnected images and blend them into one cohesive scene. You can upload up to 6 to 14 different reference images, depending on where you're using it, and ask the model to combine them into something new. These images don't have to be related at all, they can be different objects, styles, or ideas. A few years ago, I made this mood board in Canva when I was designing my dream lounge room. That was the best way I could visualize it back then. But now you can upload individual images of each item, like the piano, the plants, and the furniture, and ask the AI to generate a realistic room scene with all of them combined. This was the output, and it already looked pretty realistic, even including details like the reflection of the plant on the marble wall. But I thought the sizing of the piano was a bit off. My second attempt was uploading a single mood board image that already contained all of those elements in one collage and asking it to generate a scene based on that. This one struggled more with scale and placement. Some of the objects looked too small or cramped, and the overall layout didn't feel as natural. I did try to salvage it by trying to tweak the placements of each object, but it took a bit of back and forth to refine the layout, and the end result was still not as good as my first attempt. So my verdict is uploading individual reference images works better than uploading a single mood board collage. The model seems to understand each element more clearly when they're separate instead of all merged into one image. If you want the most control over your final scene, it's better to upload your references individually rather than as a combined mood board. If you're renovating or if you offer interior design services, this is a really powerful way to help visualize a space before spending money on furniture or materials. The fifth Nano Banana Pro feature is its ability to translate between 2D and 3D visuals. That means you can take something flat, like a screenshot, a layout, or a simple design, and turn it into a realistic 3D product image. If you've ever bought an online course before, you've probably noticed that a lot of sellers show a 3D product image, even though what they're selling is completely digital. And that's because it actually helps with conversion. When people can't physically see what they're buying and it's just a digital file, it feels more abstract and risky. It doesn't really feel like you're getting anything. But when you show mockups of the lessons or a box or a tablet with the product on it, it makes the product feel real. That reduces uncertainty, lowers the perceived risk, and makes people more confident about buying. But learning these features is just the beginning. The real opportunity is turning AI-generated visuals into something people will actually pay for. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how I use images generated with Nano Banana to land my first paying client. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.